that happens. It's Sechew Powell putting his perfect record on the line against the much more experienced Robert Frazier in a 10-round junior middleweight clash. Well, Sechew Powell's making his 5th appearance on ShoBox. We've seen him climb off the canvas to win on the show. We've seen him demonstrate raw knockout power and pure boxing skills, all to stay unbeaten. June 2004, Powell's world nearly came crashing down when he got floored by veteran Grady Brewer. But he fought back and won a controversial decision. A year ago, he took on late replacement Patrick Thompson. Powell boxed beautifully, worked behind the jab, and laid a beating on Thompson to win a unanimous decision. Then last May, we witnessed something unforgettable when Powell and big punching Cornelius Bundridge went down simultaneously seconds into their fight. Fight this past November on ShoBox, Powell faced his most dangerous opponent. Archak Termelexitayan pressured him from the opening bell, but Sechew showed poise and stamina, and fighting much of the way with an injured left hand, still finished strongly to sweep all 3 scorecards and remain unbeaten. Nick Charles with Steve Farhood ringside, ready for a ShoBox record 5th appearance for us. Sechew Powell. Steve, we've watched him battle adversity and win.
Right.
We've watched him dominate fights. Most importantly for him, he's seen himself progress.
Oh, and we've watched that. And you know what? This fight is part of that natural progression from prospect to contender. It's a very interesting opponent, Frazier, because Powell doesn't know how Frazier's going to fight. But what we do know about Frazier is that he lasts the distance. The only one of 7 world champions who stopped him, Carl Daniels, did it on a cut. Powell can't be obsessed with stopping this guy. If he does, it's huge for him. He doesn't have to win spectacularly. He does need to win impressively.
Well, we'll see. He said he's ready for this. He wants top 10. He wants anybody. Sechew Powell, former Golden Glove U.S. amateur champion, turned pro 3.5 years ago. He's now 26. He fought 4 times last year, coming off that 10-round decision against hard-punching Archak Termelexitayan last November. Sechew Powell now 18-0, 11 KOs. Take us behind the numbers, Steve.
Chin checked. Powell's been dropped twice on ShoBox, but he stood strong against the big puncher Termelexitayan, so maybe his chin is no longer suspect. Unmatched matchmaking. Powell's recently faced a perfect mix of name-value veterans like Brewer and Santiago Samaniego, and prospects like Bundridge and Termelexitayan. And young veteran. Powell's been 10 rounds twice. Now maybe that doesn't compare to 14 times for Frazier, but Sechew has become a seasoned young fighter.
32-year-old Robert Frazier had over 200 amateur fights, was a 1992 National Golden Gloves champion. He turned pro 11 years ago and has faced vastly superior opposition than Powell. He lost a decision to Winky Wright for the IBF Jr Middleweight Title in 2001, and since then he's been beaten only by the much stronger Felix Stern. Robert Frazier, durable, excellent boxer, 31-6-4, 15 knockouts. What's behind those numbers, Steve?
Well, a senior moment. Powell's 4 previous ShoBox opponents averaged 18 fights per man. Frazier's had 41 fights and has fought 270 rounds. Lefty times 2. Frazier's 2 most recent opponents, Tarvis Sims and Virgil McClendon, both southpaws. That'll help versus Powell. And down, goes Frazier. Frazier has faced 7 different world titleists, going 2-5. The only one who stopped him, as I mentioned before, Carl Daniels, and that was on a cut.
Sechew Powell wants to definitely transition from prospect to contender. It starts with tonight's test against Robert Frazier, who says he's been there, done that, and is out to make a new statement now. Let's go back to Joe Antonacci.
Ladies and gentlemen, again, we welcome you to the Northern Quest Casino here in Airway Heights, Washington. where all of tonight's action is being brought to you by DeBella Entertainment in association with Dash DeBella Promotions, Banner Promotions, ProKeds, and Showtime. This bout is sanctioned by the State of Washington Department of Licensing. Introducing the judges as appointed, Barry Drucksmann, Glenn Hamada, and Tom McDonough. And our referee for this bout, Bobby Howard. And now, ladies and gentlemen, live from the Great Northwest, this is the ShoBox main event of the evening. 10 rounds of action in the junior middleweight division. Presenting first, fighting out of the blue corner. He's wearing black trunks and weighed in at 152 pounds. He enters the ring with a record of 31 victories, only 6 defeats, 4 draws, and 15 wins by knockout. From Rochester, New York, introducing Robert "Push-Up" Frazier. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, wearing blue trunks. He weighed in at 155 pounds. He enters the ring with an unblemished professional record, 18 victories, no defeats, 11 big knockouts. From Brooklyn, New York, please welcome the Iron Horse, Sechew Powell.
Gentlemen, you both received your instructions. You're professionals. You know what you're doing. So check it up. Get it on. I want a clean fight. Thank you. Good luck.
You see Powell a little bit heavier, a little bit of a reach advantage. But if he's successful from the outside tonight against Frazier, it'll be because of his boxing skills, not because of his longer arms.
And we see no 3 knockdown or standing 8. Can't be saved by the bell in any round. And once again, referee or doctor can stop the fight. Bobby Howard, referee. In the blue or turquoise and those new shoes is Sechew Powell, left-hander. Robert Frazier wants to take him to school, but he wants to feel him out in the first, feel his power, check out his moves, and see what he's got. Nice body punch by Powell as he digs in and is immediately moving forward. Frazier in black sticks the jab first. So he hasn't abandoned it against the lefty, but his left is dangerously low now. He's a guy that would seem to know his comfort zone, but he really must control range and pace of this fight, Steve.
I think both guys, Nick, are going to look to see what the other does in terms of strategy. Both can fight more than one way. Look at the difference in experience. The big one there, the rounds. 7 years apart in turning pro, and look at 200 more rounds.
We got a little equipment
for Frazier.
Adjustment here.
Time in. Time in.
Frazier's supportive cup and the belt slipping down on him, so readjusted by the referee Bobby Howard in the fight again. Sechew Powell in the lighter trunks, left-hander, and Frazier trying to put some moves on him and make him miss and see if he takes any kind of bait. So Frazier starting cautiously. Sticks that little right lead to the belly, though.
Well, Nick, you know Powell understands strategy because he wore a Seattle Seahawks uniform into the ring. Shows he's a smart guy.
Get the crowd behind you immediately.
We should have thought of that.
From Brooklyn to Spokane. Powell, we should mention again, hurt his left hand his last appearance November 4th on ShoBox. He fought much of that fight against Terminal Excitation with a damaged hand. No break or anything, but we will be watching the left. And there, a nice 3-punch combination from Powell trying to walk down Frazier. Frazier taking some of the shots on the gloves. He took that one flush, though. Real sneaky left hand from Powell, very quick.
Powell's probably wondering what's going on here. Nothing crazy has happened yet. When he fought in Laughlin on our air, the lights went out while he was in the ring. And then, as he's waiting to be the main event in Oklahoma, Codrington, his buddy from New York, got knocked out in 20 seconds.
Steve, looks like Frazier could be bleeding some from the right nostril. Very minor, no big problem. But Powell connected nicely with that left. Nice, short, sweet, and fast.
Well, Frazier's not offering much offense, Nick, and Powell's been effective with that jab. He's the one coming forward. That makes the jab all the more effective for obvious reasons. You're lengthening your jab by stepping forward.
Now Powell reading his man. He sees the blood too, nothing serious. Frazier walks forward but with nothing behind it as we close out the first here in Spokane.
Come on, sit down, son. Sit down.
You checking out 1, 2, 4, 5. You check.
Give us a mouthpiece, coach.
You boxing. You never box. Take the move, buddy. Surprise. You step, surprise. You first. I time you first. Not like a guy working for you. You working for the guy, right?
15 seconds at 1 in the morning. Then I want him out.
Easy one.
It's your fight. Relax a little more. You're a little too tense there, baby. Relax. Take your time. Don't rush anything, Pop. Don't rush anything.
Don't blow.
Let's move your head a little more. Move your head a little more. And let's keep touching him with the left, baby. Keep him on balance, okay, baby? Start leading with that right hand. If you're gonna jab,
Take a deep breath
walk
through your
in,
nose. Let it
baby.
out.
Shorten up the ring a little, all right? Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Sit back, Robert.
You heard Cello Betancourt first fight with Robert Frazier. So Frazier finally switching trainers, trying to take it to the next level, get his career rejuvenated. He's a very experienced fighter. Said he's not the marquee guy. It's Powell who has a lot of pressure on him, but I don't believe it, Steve. If Frazier doesn't win this fight, he's just an opponent. If he's serious about wanting to be somebody again in this division.
Well, Frazier said to us, Powell doesn't like pressure. Trouble is, in the first round, Frazier didn't apply any pressure.
Exactly. Well, I'll give him the fact that he really did want to check out Powell's speed, movement, and such.
See, I feel, Nick, the only chance Frazier has in this fight is to not only apply pressure, but outwork Powell. You know, force Powell to get on his horse. Force the Iron Horse to get on his horse. And he's got to get close and show a little more urgency to do that. Maybe he will. I mean, he did, you know, he did look him up and down in the first round, and didn't offer much offense.
Well, as you said, he's got to start by touching him more, and he seems to be moving forward a little bit more, throwing punches, putting some offense together. Double jab there. As Corey walked into a nice, quick shot from Powell. So Powell really flashing that hand speed beautifully in this fight. Good body attack from Powell. And again, as you touched on, Frazier said that Powell doesn't like it to the body. But we don't see Frazier going there at all. Frazier squared up now. And Powell sees that nice inviting midsection.
Seems pretty clear from Powell's movement. He wants distance. And if Frazier does come forward, Powell's a good enough boxer to use a little lateral movement and escape.
Boy, Steve, I agree. I think Powell should step around every time and just bang, bang, because, again, Frazier's coming in dead squared up. Taking shots on the gloves. Bleeding a little bit, that right nostril. It's not a big factor. He's sniffing at it, trying to control that trickle of blood. But Powell against the ropes right now gets caught by a left hook to the body and now battles back. It just seemed to wake him up a little bit. Powell avoids a shot there. But Steve, I got to tell you something. I've seen Frazier hit a lot harder than I have seen him in prior fights. So he's throwing more conviction. He's got to take some chances, as you say, knock this guy off stride.
Well, he had Powell against the ropes there about 30 seconds ago, but he didn't keep him there.
Powell demonstrating versatility, fighting, backing up at times. He took another hook. So Frazier sitting down on his shots a little better here as we close out the second.
Is that around? All right? How you feeling? Put your head down.
Don't blow. Don't blow, baby.
Listen to me. This kid is a nobody. your experience, your knowledge. Let's start using it. Let's not move those legs, baby.
Don't blow, baby. Don't blow.
Let's start moving those legs.
Don't blow.
Let's touch him, baby. Let's keep him on balance, all right? Let's keep him on balance. Take a little sip, baby.
You don't know how to act, you do, man.
Listen.
No experience.
Close round.
Action from round 2. And Frazier's trying to counterpunch there. Notice Powell against the ropes. He steps forward. He doesn't try to hold. And then he fights his way off the ropes. And Frazier seems very willing right there to back up. He should have stayed there and tried to keep Powell on the ropes.
Yeah, he landed a couple of good body shots, I thought, with Powell. I really like what Cello Betancourt is telling Frazier. Not the fact that he thinks Powell's a nobody, but in terms of really got to touch him a little bit more. But here comes Powell. Big left hand got the crowd up. So Powell sticking that straight left down the pike. Combinations from Powell. He's in the lighter trunks. A nice slip from Frazier. Now he's inside. Good uppercut. So now they'll trade, and Frazier content to do that. But he's sort of fallen in, Steve.
Yeah, he is. He's coming forward, and he's getting outboxed badly.
Oh, low blow. Low blow by Powell. And Bobby Howard caught it. Powell ripping that left hand, trying to separate the gloves of Frazier, who is in defense mode now.
Powell always in combination and punching hard. We don't think of him necessarily, despite that amazing Bundrich fight, as a big puncher. But he's punching hard tonight.
Absolutely.
And the shots are straight, and that's one of the reasons they're a little harder than maybe his knockout record would suggest.
I'm liking this fight, Steve, a lot more than I thought on paper. Frazier definitely has come to fight, at least here in the third. We'll see what kind of stamina. Based on his last fight, he showed up in shape, and that's a good sign for a 32-year-old who isn't just showing up for some kind of a paycheck.
Well, you know, you're right. Nick, we're halfway in the third round, and this has been Powell's best round because Frazier is fighting more. You know, he's walking to his man. As a result, he's in range more, and he's getting hit more. He's still not getting off first.
Right, but it's exciting to watch this way. As you said, Frazier not afraid to take some chances and engage Powell. So he obviously has felt Powell's full power, I would say, and figures it's not something he can't deal with, or it's something he could certainly deal with. Man, his chin's in the air right there. And Powell willing to accept some shots, trying to roll under and counter. Now unloading, but caught on the gloves by Frazier. Powell takes those on the gloves.
Nick, Powell slipped everything there while he was on the ropes. I don't think he got hit once.
Powell with that jab in motion. Now he sticks a combination. Body. Frazier with the body shot as well. Not following up. Powell moving nicely. Good combinations from Powell. Once again, as he revs up. Frazier unsure as he moves forward. Not really finding a great flow to his offense.
Walk in the ring. No problem. Walk in the ring, Sechew.
Mouthpiece. Give me the mouth.
Right.
Hold on.
Oíste, walk in the ring, right? Walk in the ring. You're really big. You nice moving back. Walk back. No passing, you not say nothing. You pass at something, okay? It's all right, man. You remember, this guy, you wow, squad.
In round 3, a little bit of offense from Powell, a little bit of defense. That left hand snapping back Frazier's head. Now, Frazier's hands went down there. That's not a veteran move. And then later in the round, watch Powell now. He gets hit with grazing left hook, but watch, nothing else lands here. Watch him slip everything. He sees everything coming. Miss, blocked. Got touched there. Miss, off the shoulder, miss. Very nice defense by Sechew Powell.
Needless to say, 30-27.
Exactly.
Yet, that said, I like the fight so far.
Well,
I think Frazier's in it to do something.
Yeah, he showed a lot of moxie in that third round. What Powell was missing when he first started on Showbox was focus. he has it now, and it's being amplified because Frazier is pushing him by walking at him and making Powell fight a consistent and a focused fight. So far, Sechew's up to the task.
Yeah, Sechew could have broken Frazier's nose already because he's bleeding again seconds into this fourth round. And blood was flowing from both nostrils when he walked to his corner after 3. Frazier definitely stepping it up a notch, and now the blood's flying. Oh, Frazier walked into a low blow. And Powell elects to go to the body again. There you see the crimson flow.
Real clean. Watch those blows, both these gentlemen.
Another sign of Powell's maturity, and I really like this. Sometimes when his opponent gets close, and Frazier's gotten close a lot here, he doesn't mind just grabbing. He's not embarrassed to do it.
And there's a low blow in return. Yeah, that's a veteran move, Steve. Boy, Frazier taking just too many shots. He's got to punch more. And Powell just working his way with good movement out of danger. Nice right hybrid hook uppercut from Powell. Powell punching when he wants, fighting when he wants. And moving and resting when he wants. And that means he's controlling and dictating this fight.
And twice this round, Powell's been cornered or against the ropes. It's amazing what a little quick step to the side will do for you. He's back in ring center, right?
Absolutely. He is a fluid mover. Looks better than ever. Nice jab from Frazier. And a grazing combination there from Frazier. Nothing rock solid. Now he'll take shots on the gloves. Boy, lunging rights, and then he covers up.
Fight out of that, guys. Fight out. We're clean. There you go. There you go. Don't push.
You see Frazier's problem that he's aggressive. He's coming forward. He's got a great chin. He doesn't have to punch. That's what's missing. So when he does land, it's really not having much of an effect.
Yeah, Steve. It's like I was saying yesterday. He's like a golfer without a driver in the bag, right?
Yep.
And there he is. Perfect demonstration.
There you go. Don't use your shoulders.
Plenty of punching there from Frazier, but how much damage? Pretty close round as we close out 4.
Oh! There you go.
Tomorrow night on Showtime, Showbox alumnus Rolando Reyes gets a crack at one of the fight game's best. 2-time world champion Jose Luis Castillo. Before and during the fight, you can ask Showtime Championship boxing expert Al Bernstein a question that he may answer live on the air. Send us your questions online anytime to ascal.sho.com, or you can text in your question during the telecast to 74699 using your mobile. Phone standard messaging rates apply.
Okay? Gotta give us more body shots. Real good.
Action from round 4, as if it's not bad enough what Powell's doing with legal shots. Look at that uppercut. Ow. I'll speak for Frazier. Ow.
Box. Clean round, gentlemen.
So as you said, Powell
clean
not a
round.
guy with cannons in his fist, but definitely he's got more firepower than Robert Frazier. Better movement. Now Frazier trying to duke with him. Walking right in, square. And getting clipped as a result. And Powell just teeing off. Creating space, now he's inside. Powell takes it on the arms.
Again, nice escape from against the ropes by Powell.
Careful with your heads. Don't bang your heads together.
And there's a nice left jab from Frazier.
Let go of that arm. Let go of that arm on this side. Takes 2 to hold over there.
One of the reasons Powell is so successful offensively, you're seeing a lot of 1-2s right there, 1-2. But he's got other punches. He's got a good right hook, and he throws his left hand as a hook wide sometimes. Opponent doesn't see it.
Powell just caught him with that hook. He's really starting to drill Robert Frazier. Powell misses and gets away with it. Nothing coming back from Frazier. because it's Powell just creating range in this fight. He's fighting at the distance he wants to continually, but now getting hit a little bit, whacked around by Frazier, but Frazier not following up as Powell returns fire. Overhand right misses from Frazier, but we haven't seen that from him much.
Boy, Frazier's given some effort for a guy who's been very negative at times in his career. You know, he's trying. He's not very successful here, and he's clearly fighting Powell's fight. But he's trying. He's coming forward.
He caught Powell with that right because of the momentum. So if he get Powell backing up,
Keep him up, bro. It's okay. Don't worry about me. Don't look at me.
sweat flying here.
Real clean, real clean.
There's that lead right from Frazier. Frazier bleeding again, so the nose, that's going to be a steady floor, it looks like, as long as this fight lasts. Nice left hand from Powell. Powell not covering up enough. Short little punches, not devastating from Frazier, but they do land, so volume punching by the man in black.
Powell's little movement to the side makes Frazier reset. Takes away all his offensive momentum.
Frazier walks back, looking a little discouraged. Let's listen in.
Push up. Push up. We're losing the round, baby. You know that, right? Rapidly, baby. All right? We're losing the round, baby. We got to do something different, baby. We're going to have to bite down, engage in a war with this motherfucker. He got nothing for you. Get in his kitchen, baby, and rip, baby. Rip the body. Come back to the head. Bring this fucking knee. Bring that fucking body, baby.
Open your mouth.
All right? Let's go, push it, baby. There's your
Open your
fucking
mouth.
fight, man. We work too fucking hard to get let it go this easy, bro.
You got it.
This guy
This
got
is
no
your
fucking
shit, man.
balls.
Action from round 5. We say Powell is technically sound. He's got all the punches, and look at that straight left. Didn't travel far. He didn't reach back with it, and it went right down the middle. That's technically sound boxing.
And from the expression on Frazier's face, that hurt, Steve.
Hurt me, and I didn't get hit by it. You think it's a shutout, Nick? I have it a shutout.
Oh, absolutely. Although I thought Frazier made a lot of rounds close.
Yeah, I think the fourth you said was pretty close, and it was.
Cello Betancourt said, hey, we got to try something different, take some chances.
Don't measure like that.
And what would that be, Steve? What does this guy do? He doesn't have cannons, we said, in his fists.
Try something different is
You
obvious.
can't hang that arm out there like that.
Bobby Howard telling Frazier you can't just hang it out there as a rangefinder.
I don't see why not.
Now Powell just trying to read the next move from Frazier, and when Frazier doesn't make the play, Powell does. So Powell just economy of motion here, not wasting anything. Frazier no threat.
Powell's got Frazier right now where it seems as if Frazier's a little hesitant, a little scared to come in.
And Steve, I think it was that beautiful shot down the middle. It really seemed to hurt Frazier. So Powell's power has gotten his attention big time. And he's shown me a lot in that department. Never want to diminish Powell. He certainly has adequate power, but he's shown more than I've seen from him in a while. Good, solid shots. And a body combination left-right from Powell. Here comes Frazier.
Box out of it, box out of it.
Nick Frazier
Let his arm
simply
go,
does
box
not
out.
step
Break.
into his punches. That's why he's not a puncher. There's
Box.
no body turn when he punches. It's all arms.
A lot of arm shots, you're right. And a lot of blood on Frazier's face again. There's that right hand, and you're right, Steve. He just didn't turn on it. Not turning over his shots, walking in straight. And Steve, I have to tell you, forget about Frazier taking this kid to school. I think Powell is outclassing him in a lot of ways without even punching.
The only thing Powell has to be careful of here, he can't get sloppy. He can't say, hey, this guy can't hurt me, so I don't have to play defense.
Box out of it, guys. Let go of that arm on the other side. Let go, fight out of it, guys.
You're right, because we hit on the fact that Powell has been down before. Powell drives Frazier off him. Powell's punch volume way down in this round, enough to possibly win it anyway.
5 seconds.
ShoBox is back in March to lead off back-to-back doubleheader nights of boxing on Showtime. The main event's a special treat when the IBF flyweight title will be on the line as undefeated belt holder Vic Darchinyan takes on number 6 contender Diosdado Gabi. Join us for the next edition of ShoBox, the new generation, Friday night, March 3rd at 11 Eastern and Pacific.
Sechew, listen. Stop letting him back you up. You're only getting hit when he back you up, okay? You keep the pressure on him, you break him down, okay? You gotta work more to the body, son, okay? Behind the jab.
Remember, the guy dice cómo derribar. What happened to your body?
Okay? And the jab is working good. All right?
That's Al.
Hey, that's Al Mitchell, who had Sechew his entire amateur career. Boy, Al, what do you want, perfection? He does. He does.
He should. That's what a trainer should want.
Everything good, everybody?
They want body work, and it's Powell coming out probing to the body, as Mitchell asked. Now he's back upstairs. Steve Frazier backing off now. Runs into some shots there. And Bobby Howard, the referee, warns Powell for hitting behind the head.
You wonder, is Frazier sort of with his body language admitting defeat? Is he giving up?
He's telling me he's either taking this round off or he just can't solve them at all and is running low on fuel here.
Yeah, because rounds 3, 4, and 5, he was walking right to Powell. He took a beating in those rounds. Round 6, he stopped coming forward.
Steve, I'm with you. You can't win the fight backing up. He's hopelessly behind. He's got to know it on the cards. His corners told him that. And you're not going to win backing off here. There's those arm shots again. But at least they got through. And Powell in close, willing to stand up to anything Frazier throws his way. Oh, Powell fighting, backing up nicely. Look at that right hand in Frazier's face as he came to him.
Watch your hands, break.
There's that holding move by Powell. If his opponent gets too close, he's a little uncomfortable, he grabs. Nothing wrong with that.
Referee doing a nice job, really letting these guys fight. And for the most part, they're accommodating. Not much holding. Powell with that fast left hand connected, and now he pokes that jab through.
Break, step out of it. Watch it around the back of the head, box.
Well, we touched on the fact that Powell had injured his left hand last fight. Nothing seems to be the matter tonight.
Clean's the word.
And Powell's showing maturity in another sense, Nick. There's no sense to me that he feels he has to go for the KO. You know, he understands what's in front of him. He's dominating, he's winning every round, but I don't see any sense of urgency that he has to go for the knockout, which he's probably not going to get, whether he tries for it or not.
It's the template you talked about at the top, Steve, that really he doesn't need to advance. He's just handled this guy nicely.
That's it.
The guy fighting the last minute, right? Okay? You check it. The last minute, the guy called me. Cuando called me, you stop by, bam, bam. No, to use it.
Listen, Sechew.
We have to go after this guy like there's no tomorrow. All right? Like there's no tomorrow, we gotta go after him. All right? Engage in a war with him if you have to. Stop pulling back, baby. Let your hands go. Let them go. You pressure than him, baby. You got more legs than he does. Okay?
Put a little more snap in your punches, okay? You just sit them out there.
What's it wrong?
All right? Hey, you understand what I'm saying? Okay, put a little more snap in this and keep your hands up.
No problem. Someone please all right. Seconds out, let's go. Seconds out.
Well, it's a nice pep talk, but Steve, that's the first time I'm disagreeing with Cello Betancourt. Robert Frazier has more left than Powell. I don't think so.
Haven't really heard any technical advice, any strategy advice. You want to change things if you're Frazier. What do you do? How do you change? What do you do differently?
He told him after the third round he's got to touch the body more. Frazier told us that Powell doesn't like body shots. Now Frazier thought he had Powell hurt a little bit. Powell may be laying the woods. He backs off.
Right out of it.
So an offensive explosion from Robert Frazier. And he's going for it now. Not really landing, trying the uppercuts again, running into shots. Powell content to counter, and now gunning back with combinations. So Powell moving, slipping, and not taking many flush shots. But Frazier opened up for the first time in many rounds.
Love to see it. He's still trying to win. After a couple of rounds where he really didn't look like he was trying.
Yeah, I thought he was spitting a bit out myself.
He just doesn't have the pop, Nick. You know, Powell got hit a few shots there. Frazier was throwing uppercuts, which was smart because Powell was bent over. Power's not there.
That's one of the things Powell does that still I don't like. You're right, he'll bend
Bending
over
at the waist,
needlessly, right?
Yeah.
Now Powell adjusting on the fly nicely, but back to the ropes, electing to hang on.
Fight out of it, guys. Fight out of it. Box! I mean break. Not box. Come on, man. You're messing up my ring.
Frazier content to slug with Powell. Powell taking those shots on the gloves, but there he took the right hand. And Powell not punching anymore.
Come on, guys. Box out of it. Break it out of it. Box out of
Basically
it.
holding on this round, Steve.
You guys
This
break
is
it up
Frazier's
yourselves.
best round.
Just a breather for Powell. Here he comes back now. So he's fought with a couple of spurts here in the eighth.
You see Frazier with one KO in 23 bouts, 8 rounds or more. That does not bode well for his chances for a miracle finish here, Nick.
Well, Steve, Powell's felt all those punches, and it appears to me he's a guy who feels Frazier, as you suggested, can't hurt him.
Break clean.
One other point.
Break clean, guys.
You know, Frazier came in 152.
Break up. Break.
3 pounds under the contracted limit. And the weigh-in was this morning, which is very unusual. State of Washington did it the day of the fight. So you know Frazier hasn't put on much weight. Not strong enough, perhaps, to compete against Powell.
Now Powell's open enough down the stretch here in the eighth.
That's how we're gonna win. That's how we're gonna win. You cannot fight going backwards. You gotta retrieve it and you get over it. Why? Why? Once he moves back, baby, you start taking.
Action from round 8. The beginning of this round was this Robert Frazier's last stand. Look at his body language. He wants to rumble here. And Powell engages it, perhaps foolishly, but while Frazier had the better of it early in this exchange, Powell finished strong. There you see Powell very calm. Nice defense again. We've seen that all fight long by Powell. He sees everything coming. And really, Frazier landed almost nothing there toward the end of that extended exchange.
Yeah,
know, you see Powell jumping up and down this corner trying to get his legs back a little bit, but Frazier looks like he's really tired, Steve. I watched him in the corner, and again, looking at body language, just trying to read him. He looks like he's really got to suck it up to go this 9th and 10th and do anything offensively. Now he's just content to lay in the corner. Well, we'll see how each closes the show here. 5.5 minutes to go in this scheduled 10th rounder. Powell waiting for the openings rather than creating any. And it's Frazier back to the ropes, waiting to counter, obviously. Takes a shot, counters with a right. Powell shakes it off. That was a good punch, though, Steve, from Frazier. As he comes forward, leading with his face, though, there. Bad idea. But Powell not picking him off enough and making him pay.
You know what, Nick? Even though Frazier doesn't have the power, there's no need for Powell to get into a shootout here.
Grab him down there, okay?
His boxing's so beautiful, he should just continue doing it.
Keep it clean, gentlemen.
Would we like a toe-to-toe exchange for the next 5 minutes? Yes.
I always do.
Right, exactly. Doesn't matter who's fighting. That's what we want to see. But Powell doesn't need it.
Frazier in black fighting definitely in spurts.
Careful with the heads. Keep the punches around the front, both of you.
And running into shots from Powell, who continues to turn him. Nice left hand to the body by Powell. Powell with some blood behind his left ear, but that's probably blood of Frazier. Doesn't look like a cut there.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think it's Frazier. You're right. It's Frazier's blood. Now Frazier's in the mode of the kind of guy that you know why he goes the distance all the time. He's just
in survival mode. Huh?
Yeah, he's play acting his way through this 9th round.
Yeah, and Powell with that sweet little lead left that time. Just taking batting practice. And I disagree with Betancourt. I think Powell fights on the fly very nicely. But now when you're not punching, he's soaking up too many shots. Exchange there, Powell back against the ropes.
Step back, full step back.
Will force a clinch, which Frazier is happy to oblige him with.
There have been isolated good moments for Frazier. When he attacks, he gets inside on Powell, and he looks good doing it. And again, as I said in the last fight, our first fight, a little bit of a blueprint here for how to fight Sechew Powell. I think you need to crowd him. You need to muscle him.
Have you given him a round?
No.
Oh, nice left hand from Powell as he kept punching, stringing that combination together.
That's a beautiful fucking round. Took the beginning of the round off. On call for, put your head down. Took the beginning of the round off. Let go.
Okay? Ready, you jab. The guy come, you step, jab. He bam. Okay? Okay.
Last and final round, Bobby. We have to do it, baby.
You gotta take it.
We have to take this fight now, baby. It's now or never. It's now or never.
It's now clean. Oh, the towel. Yeah, water. Okay, listen. Okay, this your last round. This your last round, okay? Carry.
Work. This guy's a coward. You push him back. He retreats. He locks up. Work.
The guy coming for you. You busy.
Okay? You want to touch that chin now? He's going to go. You want to touch that chin? This is it.
Well, we'll see about
Let's
that.
keep it clean. It's been an honorable fight. Good fight, brother.
I wouldn't call Sechew Powell a coward.
Get down.
No.
And he doesn't look like a guy ready to go, but what else can Cello Betancourt tell Robert Frazier? You can't pack up and leave. We're in the 10th and final round. Powell not shy about going to the body on the belt line, in fact, as he digs in.
That's right. Finish clean. Finish clean.
Now Powell stoking it up a little bit more, so he comes out with a lot more offense. And the arm shots from Frazier, he walks into a double jab. And Powell fighting on the fly again.
Break. No slap. On a break.
Boy, Frazier's beat.
Come on, guys, fight out of it. Both of you, fight out of it.
Happy to clinch again.
Box out of that thing.
Frazier's
Box out of it. Break!
got zip in his tank, Steve.
Yep. And I'll tell you, Powell is in really good shape. And you know what's interesting about that? He hasn't taken a deep breath this whole fight, but his training camp was 3.5 weeks instead of his customary 5.
Oh, let me have it, let me have it, let me have it. Back up, back up, back up. Everything okay? Box.
And there again, Steve, I keep talking about Powell on the fly. Certainly it's better when he's got his forward momentum going, sitting down on shots like that.
Break!
I do like that he can put together a little bit of offense even when he moves backward. It's a nice dimension to have. Good body shots. Powell sitting down again on his punches. We approach the minute mark in our main event here in Spokane, Washington.
Break. Keep it clean. Finish clean, guys. Got a minute left or less. Box.
Nice thing to tell him. Not necessary, but a nice message. So let's see how strongly Frazier tries to finish and how dynamically Powell puts a period on this fight.
Box out of it. Don't hold.
And that's the thing you want to see, Steve. I'm not saying Powell to go for it, try to knock this guy over the ropes, but why not finish with a flurry?
Let me have it.
He is finishing with a flurry, and you know what? He has that look, Nick. He's had it all fight of being a real seasoned pro.
Yes,
it's easy to forget. He's 26. He's only had 76 rounds of boxing. This is his 19th fight. He's really grown up on show boxing. It's been a pleasure to watch him.
Absolutely. Maybe we'll see him again as we finish out the seconds here.
You're going to fight. Nice. Had the pop. Cinnamon, what's up? 35th Street, what up? Strong fight. Bring Robert in here. Get in here, baby, get in here. Robert Frazier, true warrior. New York represent tonight.
So, pretty classy performance from Sechew Powell. Steve, officially, did you have it a shutout?
I did. If you want to give Frazier a round or two, fine. Pretty classy post-fight move there by Sechew, also acknowledging Frazier's
not the best, but we're going to work on it.
You did a good job.
And a good sign that Powell has the humility to say not the best, but we're going to work on it.
Pop.
So Sechew Powell undoubtedly moves to 19-0. No knockdowns in this fight.
Showtime, what's up? Thank you again, Showtime. We love you, Showtime.
And looking ahead to March, Showtime Boxing continues its 20th year anniversary with a super middleweight showdown.
America's Fight Night is on Showtime on the first Saturday of every month. On March 4th, it's the biggest super middleweight battle in over a decade. Devastating puncher Jeff Lacey versus dominant southpaw Joe Calzaghe. Both world champions, both undefeated, and both risking it all to unify the titles. It's finally here. Jeff Lacey versus Joe Calzaghe, Saturday, March 4th at 9, live from Manchester, England. It's America's Fight Night on America's #1 boxing network.
So that'll be the story in March. The story here in February as we get it underway. Sechew Powell looked like a dominant junior middleweight once again against Robert Frazier. Let's get the official word from Joe Antonacci.
After 10 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judges Barry Druxman, Glenn Hamada, and Tom McDonough all see the bout 99-91 for your winner by unanimous decision from Brooklyn, New York, Sechew, the Iron Horse, Powell.
Sechew Powell then remains unbeaten. He's 5 out of 5 here on Showbox. Pretty happy with his performance. Steve, he controlled the flow and the action of this fight. But I have to ask you, as we look at Sechew Powell, to cleanly assess how powerful a statement he made here tonight.
He did what he had to, Nick. You know, he opened on Showbox against Grady Brewer. I didn't think he won that fight. He got dropped. Look at the advancement from that point to this point. Tonight he wins clearly against a very, very experienced fighter, a fighter that perhaps just simply wasn't good enough to compete with him. But look how he beat him so convincingly.
So how pressed was he tonight again?
Well, he wasn't all that pressed because he fought his fight. He fought exactly the way he wanted to, and Frazier was frustrated in the rounds that Frazier applied a lot of pressure, tried to win and get inside. Those were the rounds Powell won most convincingly. From Powell's perspective, that's a big positive.
Yeah, again, I think he absolutely outclassed the guy who we talked about had been there, done that, as he said it, his own words, been in with world champions, hung with them. And the durability factor, I thought, was Robert Frazier's best trait going in. It's a guy who was stopped, as you said, on cuts. He was getting beat up by Carl Daniels, but no disgrace, and never really a disgraceful loss in his career. Nor was this one, although he didn't win many rounds and arguably none on our cards.
Right.
Hung in, and again, I think a pretty good test for and an advancement for Sechew Powell.
No doubt about it. And you know what? Boxing needs Robert Fraziers, because Robert Fraziers allow the Sechew Powells of the world, prospects who are becoming